Both those videos you sent me were pretty interesting.
Yeah, what is that stuff and where it come from?
What stuff?
Whatever that shit is you're talking about.
GHB?
No. So GHB is a fucking crazy one, right?
That's the
Cranium.
Yeah. What is it?
Cranium.
I don't think it's
Are you talking about kratom?
Kratom.
Yeah. Yeah, not cranium.
How do you know about kratom?
There's been a couple of guests on Joe Rogan's podcast and talked a shit ton about it.
Kratom.
He was like, "Did you watch those videos I sent you?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well," I'm like, "I need some context. Like, what am I looking for? What do you want me to get out of this?"
Yeah.
What happens is he'll listen to it. He'll focus on one piece.
Yeah. The same. Well, everybody does that. I started listening to it. I was like, this dude says eat parsley. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he says, eat fucking parsley. Counts it as a vegetable.
Yeah. Well, like the one before that, the diet. You know, the only diet you'll ever need for bodybuilding.
That
or whatever.
one. Yeah, that one.
The first 5 minutes, all the dude does is talk about white rice.
White rice and sugar. And how there's windows to eat it. Yeah.
And I'm like, next.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand. The thing that most people don't understand is if you're really a bodybuilder, so if you're really in the gym, burning 1,200, 1,300 calories a day in the gym, you can eat chocolate chip cookies. You really can eat chocolate chip cookies.
Right, because the insulin that your body produces is then anabolic. It helps you build those muscles.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if you burn the calorie, yes, if you burn the well, go ahead and watch what Rock eats at fucking midnight.
Well, I know.
It's because he's burning the calories.
No, it's because his hormones are on point. Because a calorie you get from sugar does not react the same way in your body as a calorie you get from protein.
A calorie is a measurement of heat, period.
Right.
It's a measurement of heat. So a calorie is a calorie. It doesn't matter if it comes from a dandelion or it comes from a piece of sugar.
You most certainly can.
That's why a guy can go to the gym and eat fucking 10 pounds of rice and it not affect him. Whereas if we're sitting in here and I'm eating 10 pounds of rice, it's going to affect me. It's all about how you work out. Or how much you work out.
He just farted.
That's why Rock can take chocolate chip cookies and pile them on top of slices of pizza and eat them at fucking midnight. He does that. He will show a video of him eating the shittiest shit at the worst possible time you should be eating.
Yeah.
But he's going to go in the gym and he's going to work out so hard that none of that even matters.
What's the worst possible time to eat?
Midnight?
Right before bed.
So those dudes are saying they had a huge channel. Huge channel. And it got killed.
Oh, fuck.
If you notice,
The first video or the second video?
all their videos, well, neither of those.
Oh.
Those are recent videos.
Okay.
So if you notice all their videos, they are not in the United States. Because of what they're talking about. They said that YouTube killed their channel. And they said Rogan is very, very careful about how he says things and the way he words stuff. Because if he goes much further, they will fucking throttle his channel and ghost ban him and all that shit, which is what they're saying happened to them.
Yeah.
Like the kratom stuff. He's like, there's a ton of shit you can step outside the United States and buy that literally fucking heals you. But they suppress it inside the United States. And then the dude, did you catch where he said, like the cure for AIDS, all your top AIDS researchers were on a plane that just fucking crashed and killed all
I
of
didn't
them?
catch that part. I didn't watch the second video all the way to the end.
Yeah.
I actually, not that you should put this in the video,
Went and looked for kratom.
GHB. And
Yeah,
how
so what
easy
about
that-
you? So where is
Holy,
it?
well, you can make it with 2 fucking ingredients.
2 ingredients, and the cost to make it is about as much as filtering water.
Yeah. The filtered water probably costs more.
GHB, I've never fucked with it. I know guys years ago that used GHB, and they swore by it because you would sleep. It would literally almost put you comatose. You would sleep as though you had been asleep for fucking a week. Like you would wake up completely rested and healed. And you hear all this shit about deaths, but all the deaths that were related to it, if you go back and actually look at them,
Usually something.
had a ton of other fucking illicit drugs with them.
Yeah. Or even alcohol.
Yeah.
Because it like compounds.
So
the-
they're saying GHB, pharmaceutical GHB, if you get a prescription for GHB, is $5,000 for a bottle of GHB. GHB on the black market is about $50 a bottle.
Yeah.
And they're saying you can make it literally for free.
Yeah, it's lime and something else.
What is the other thing? Is it a chemical
Yeah,
reaction?
it's a chemical. It's super simple though. And I mean, proper ratios are right there, black and white, easy to
Why
figure out.
lime?
It's because I don't know. You're making it's a
Chemical reaction with
chemical
lime.
reaction, yeah. Like ridiculously easy to make. And it's shelf after you make it, it is shelf stable for like ever and ever. So you can make a big batch of it and just be done with it. Because like literally measurements are like by the gram, like 1.5 grams of it.
See what they're talking about when they're dieting?
In the first video? Yeah, this stuff is
That's what they're saying. They're saying you need the glucose. You need the simple carbs, white rice or whatever
Yeah.
you're using, even sugar. With that 15-minute window, because it fucking pulls. You're susceptible,
yeah.
and it will pull all that fucking protein in. And
Yeah.
then they're like protein shakes. Everybody wants to use protein shakes, which there's a place for them. So you said you're better off mixing a protein shake and then drinking a third of it, and then 30 minutes later drinking another third, because your body's going to it's going to burn that through pretty fast, and you need to keep those stores available.
That's the part I found really interesting is they're talking about how quickly they will process food through their body. Like 15, 20 minutes.
For simple white rice.
Yeah. Like that's pretty impressive. Like your body's rocking if you're really
Those are
doing
the
that.
same dudes. That's what caught my attention. That's when I started watching it. Dudes on their life feed were like, how do I lose this fucking gut fat? And he's like, use a diuretic, use fucking fiber, and then cut your last meal. Your last meal, use fucking broccoli. Eat a shit ton of broccoli.
Yep.
It's gonna go through your system a little slower, and it's gonna scrape all that shit out of your
Like
intestines.
eating steel wool.
Yeah.
Just like push
Did
it all out.
they actually say that?
No, but that's a
Yeah, they had some analogy like that.
roughage analogy. That's why Skull eats salad so late at night.
But those guys have a lot of, like that one dude, Coach Trevor, or whatever his name is.
The skinny, dark-haired guy?
No, the fucking big dude, the bald guy that he's always talking to. They both have doctorates. They're both fucking doctors.
Cool.
So the one dude, he actually coaches a lot of fucking, like Olympia level athletes, like dudes that are on the big stage.
Cool. Yeah, but I mean, that first video, those guys were so. It's crazy how much they've broken it down to the science. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
at 15 minutes after, I'm eating this, and then 30 minutes, I'm eating this, and then my last meal, I eat this. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, the other dude that was sitting on the table, I don't know if I sent you the one where they're at a dinner table,
Yep,
like
that's
in an
the one.
apartment or something, or hotel room. That dude's a Olympic coach. The fucking smaller dude with the black hair.
Yep.
And then the cool thing about those dudes too, they're like, it's not for everybody. That's like for the top 1%.
Yeah.
Like they're telling you, like everybody has this idea, like that's what none of those dudes in those ads tell you. They're all using anabolics. Anabolics to the point like you couldn't even afford to use the shit some of those dudes are using. And those guys are giving you the math and the fucking breakdown to use it with that stuff.
You know what's good for gut fat? The number one thing? Nope. Sit-ups are terrible.
Yeah.
You do sit-ups,
Sit-ups just make you
it
look
just pushes
rounder.
the gut fat further out,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can have a fucking 19-pack under here and just a beer belly hanging out because of the sit-ups.
Yeah.
You got to run. That's ultimately what it is. You have to fucking run if you want to get rid of. Well, if you want to go from this to lean, you got to run. That's the number one way to get rid of fat is run.
It's called running. You're not running anyway.
No, I'm not. I'm not even getting on a fucking bike. I can't do it.
Even a bike's too much.
Yeah.
Just that range of motion.
Have you tried the?
I thought about
Sit
that
back.
other thing. The water thing.
Yeah.
Thought about that thing, but I don't.
What about the row machine?
Like even when we do, you know the bent over rows. When we do the sit down bent over rows. Even when we do that, just my knee right like that. There's pain all across it, all across the front.
But the rows, you sit down, you just put your legs flat, like you put your feet flat against the platform, and you literally just pull with your upper body.
I was thinking the one where you pull and push. I don't know, maybe.
I mean, you can push if that's what you're trying to do.
It's this. Any exercise that has anything to do with this, you'll burn more calories. Period.
Your core.
Yeah. Well, your legs. It's the legs. It's when you do squats. You're going to burn more calories doing squats than bench press.
Well, they're bigger muscles.
Yeah, it's because you're using the big muscles.
Ooh, big muscles.
That's why if you want to lose fat,
You have to use
Run.
bigger muscles.
go run.
And drink Diet Pepsi.
Enjoy it while you can. Go run, enjoy it while you can, because eventually you're going to be like, well, you guys don't have to worry about that, because in 5 years they're just going to be like, all right, let me drill into your hip, zip, let me get some stem cells out, boom, they're going to throw them in your knees are going to grow into brand new knees, it'll be fine.
I've never enjoyed running.
Even
before I had pain, I never enjoyed
I hated running too. Colonel Powers. Huge. Like Colonel Powers. Like he's still huge, and he has to be, I bet he's in his 60s. Just huge. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Jacked. And every time we do the PFT, he'd be like, fuck this running bullshit. I'm like, what? He's like, you only get so many heartbeats in a lifetime. I hate wasting them on this stupid running bullshit.
Hey, that is the truth, man.
I agree.
Only so many heartbeats per life.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. They keep pushing it further and further. Like, you know, you got marathon runners. I remember 8 years ago. When there was, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 10 years ago, when there was a handful of people that were doing 500-mile runs. Not running 100 miles and stopping. 500-mile runs.
Yeah.
And now these crazy motherfuckers are doing 1,000-mile runs. The dude, I read the article about the guy that he's like the #1 runner, but they talk about how he actually sleeps. He has controlled himself to a point where he can be running and sleeping at the same time.
1,000 mile back to back. Like
running and sleeping at the same time.
Dude just did 13 weeks in a row, 1,000-mile runs. I don't know how you can even fucking do that.
It doesn't seem to make any fucking sense.
No.
Like that guy is those guys are at the peak of their game, but I'm telling you, in 5 years, everybody's going to be talking about how fucking wrecked they are.
Yeah.
Well,
Because they're just pushing. Like,
well, they are
they're
wrecked.
shitting
like,
on
if you look at
themselves.
them, like Goggins looks fucking still put together. But there's a lot of dudes, especially when you're looking at the elite dudes doing all these talks and shit, talking about all their running and stuff. They look like they have fucking AIDS. Like, they literally look like Forrest Gump looked when he got back from running. Like, just fucking completely disheveled, fucking body tore up. Like, they look fucking like they are dying.
Probably because they're
They
close
are
to
Yeah.
dying. Their body is literally eating itself.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just like, nobody used to do that shit. Nobody ran a fucking 4-minute mile until the first dude did. Then, what, 100 dudes the next year did it? Because they knew it
You
was
have to
fucking
break that
to be
membrane.
done.
Once the membrane is broken,
Yeah.
then other people will challenge that membrane. You have to break the membrane. I've read read an article or heard a podcast about a girl that does those long distance runs, and they have like a, you know, when you see the bicycle guys going, and there's that car that follows shit.
Yeah.
The chase truck.
They have kind of the same thing for the long distance runners. And there was a point in one of these races she was doing where they're like, you can sleep. You're like 10 minutes ahead of you're ahead enough where you could actually sleep. And I think she'd been running for 24 hours. So she's like, okay, I'm going to get a nap in. And she laid down and went to sleep. Woke up, looked at the dude and was like, whew, I'm good to go. Let's go. How long was I asleep? He's like, 2.5 minutes. Boom. And she takes off. Yeah, crazy.
Our friend Angela Chartel.
I feel great.
Matt's ex-wife, Angela, was on Prozac and had a daycare center. Like, I hated this bitch. Like, hated her. If Matt had killed her, I'd have been like, let's fucking bury her. Fucking, I'd have been right there burying her. And just one day, some shit, I don't even know what changed. I don't know if it was mountain biking or running, but she gets off the fucking meds. Like, she has this story out there. She gets off the meds and somehow ends up running. Enters a 5K. The 5K becomes, eventually she's doing half marathons, and then she's doing marathons. We actually went to 2 of her marathons and watched her cross the finish line. Now she's running 100-mile races. She's mountain biking all the time, but like that's her thing. Like her whole entire, I believe she makes money. I think she has sponsors and appearances and stuff. But that's all she does is run and fucking work out. And it was fucking pretty wild. When she was on Prozac, like she literally lost like 120 pounds probably. Fucking insane.
Not from the Prozac. From getting off the Prozac.
Getting off the Prozac and started working out, literally lost the weight of a fucking person.
That's what it is that
it's the antidepressants, SRIs.
The human body, we were not meant for a sedentary lifestyle. We were fucking nomads, and we actually used to chase down. And one of the things they talk about is, like a cheetah. Cheetah can run 75 miles an hour, but it's a burst of speed that has no longevity. Where humans have longevity. So they talk about how we used to probably just chase animals until they collapsed and died.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that we would just herd mentality and just chase them
until
they collapsed and died. We're not supposed to live a sedentary lifestyle. That's why you have so much depression. If you are depressed, go to the gym. You cannot go to the gym and work out hard and walk out of there and still be depressed.
You see all these dudes.
You can't do it.
Every one of these fucking dudes talking. When you're not sure what to do, when fucking shit's fucked up, the one thing you control is your fucking movement. The one thing you control is your health and your fitness. And when you fucking start in that direction of fixing that, everything else fucking, like your problems, they kind of just go away. Or the fog that kept you from finding the solution clears out, and all of a sudden it doesn't look like as big of a problem. For some of us, said the same thing.
Your body will release chemicals that will make you feel better after you exercise. Now, of course, if you weigh 600 pounds and you go down to Muscle Beach, you may leave Muscle Beach depressed because of all the people that are fit and you are not fit. If you just go and exercise, you will feel better. If you're in the military, I challenge anyone that's in the military that thinks they have PTSD.
Yeah, move.
Put on a 50-pound rucksack and go road march 10 miles. I will bet by the time you get back, you won't be thinking about any of that shit. You will feel better, and you won't be fucking dwelling on all the other bullshit that you were dwelling on before. Get out and fucking move. The reason why you're depressed is because you're sitting in your house fucking staring at walls.
It becomes a task. It's a direction. Mm-hmm. It's not just going to the gym. It's getting up at a set time. It's feeding before the gym. It's getting your shit ready to go to the gym. It's the evolution of going to the gym, walking in the gym, doing the movement, feeding after the gym, and like it becomes part of your schedule. So you have a focus, you have a target, you have a purpose, and there's a lot around it. It's not just about the gym. It's the fucking purpose of going to the gym as well.
I just go to the gym so I can eat more bacon. Full of the bacon.
You can do that. You can do that.
I'm working my way up to midnight pizza with chocolate chip cookies covered on it. I'm coming after you, Rock. I'm coming after you.
Well,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna midnight pizza with chocolate chip cookies, Rock. You better step your game up.
There are chemicals that will help allow you to do that.
I'm not using any chemicals either, Rock. I'm coming at you all natural. Natural, Rock.
Rock says he's natural.
Come on, Rock. Come on, who you fooling?
Just because you have a prescription, that doesn't mean it's natural.
Who you fooling, Rob? You ain't natural.
That's what those dudes are saying. Like we have the ability and the chemicals and the stuff to make you superhuman, and it is suppressed within inside the United States. Like if you look at their videos, they did a video in China, they did several videos in Mexico. He was in Thailand. His next video, like that dude's all over the place, and he's very fucking open about what he's using and how he's using it. And that's what he said with the what's that stuff called?
GHD?
No, the other one.
Kratom?
Kratom. He's like, my mom is 70 years old and she had fucking hip pain. Went to the doctor gave her fucking painkillers, and it just suppressed her. And I wanted to get her some Kratom, is what he was saying. He said we could not get it in the United States. He said I ended up getting it. I gave it to my mother. Literally the next day, she was up and moving and the pain was gone. 2 weeks later, whatever was causing the symptom, she was able to move in a mechanical, normal motion. And whatever the ailment was that was causing the pain on the other side, like that shit went away. It's just like the plantar fasciitis in my right foot. It's not because of my fucking right foot. It's because of my fucking left hamstring.
Yeah.
Because it changes my gait. We know that because you worked on me for fucking 30 minutes, and fucking 10 minutes after that, like I was fine. And it's just like the stretches. When we went and did legs, I have the same pain that I had. But I was able to go out there for 10 minutes and just fucking use those stretches on that cage.
Yeah.
And that shit went away.
That's cool. Cool.
Nobody, like, when I say nobody's gonna fucking worry about your health like you are, like I said that on video, and Jeff's like, no, you gotta take fucking vaccination. I didn't mean vaccination. When you're sick, your doctor only cares about you for the 10 minutes that you're in front of your fucking doctor. Like, oh, you got cancer, or oh, you have this, or oh, you have that. Nobody's gonna fucking give a shit about you like you give a shit about you. So you better start doing some fucking research and find the shit that's gonna fucking heal you. Because your doctor, he's not gonna fucking heal you. He's just gonna throw some shit at you and hope that it fucking suppresses the symptoms and you go away and he marks another win on his chalkboard there. They're not fucking, he doesn't have an interest in healing you. He definitely doesn't have an interest in curing you. Like, you're gonna have to fucking look that shit up yourself and find out what else is out there.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that the doctors are moving with good intention. But the thing you have to remember is, even though this is the modern era, everything that a doctor do is still semi-experimental. When they give you a drug for this or give you a drug, it's still experimental. They don't really, when you have whatever, we'll say aspirin. When you have aspirin, and they know that
Think about it. Before aspirin, it was cocaine.
That aspirin does a certain thing, right? That's across a broad spectrum. It's not an individual spectrum. That's why if you look at all the experiments they're doing now, they want to direct it towards your specific DNA, so they can help you specifically. I just heard a podcast the other day about using your DNA profile to eat the right foods, because if you come from, Scandinavia, the foods that you should probably be eating are different than somebody from sub-Saharan African because of the DNA. And that's kind of where they're going, but you just have to remember that no matter what, it's an experiment. A doctor, when he gives you a pill, he has an idea of what that pill's going to do.
Based off of what you told him.
He's going to have an idea of what that pill's going to do because of the research involved in that pill. But until you take the pill, he has no fucking clue if it's going to work, if it's not going to work, if your fucking toe's going to fall off. Those are all in that symptom thing. It's like when you watch it on TV, when they say,
death.
Take this pill to grow thicker eyelashes, and it's may cause death, hysteria,
severe anal seepage.
Severe anal seepage.
They didn't know that until they started giving it to motherfuckers.
Until they started giving it to people. And somebody going in there and going, yeah, my eyelashes are thicker, but my butthole is prolapsed now. What's going on here?
I'll just push that back in.
Just push it back in. We have a pill for
another pill.
We got a pill for the prolapse. So you have to understand that they're just experimenting. It's no different than the 1800s when they would just cut people open and be like, "Oh yeah, well, I think we know what's going on here. Let's just remove some of the stuff, and we'll sew you back up." They're just experimenting. It's even still today. We're still just experimenting. They don't even fucking know enough about the human body to, tell you really, like, John and Amanda. There's a lot of health talk around here, and nobody really knows enough about the human body to definitively tell you that this is what we need to do. This is how you need to do. You can find a smoker that's 100 years old. You can find an alcoholic that has been drinking his whole life that's 100 years old. Yep. I mean,
and for every study you see that says you shouldn't drink, there's fucking 5 that say you should have a drink every day.
Yeah.
Most of the shit that people go to the doctor for, though, especially like our doctor, like if you go to Dr. Barry's office and you walk in there and you see people, 75% of the people in there that are ill or have ailments, it's self-fucking induced. If they would give a fuck about themselves a little bit, they wouldn't fucking be in there seeing Dr. Barry. I have never been to Dr. Barry. I don't think I've ever been to Dr. Barry because I was sick. I've been to Dr. Barry because I wanted something, or I wanted some enhancement or something fucking performance-based or a little bit more edge. I had some questions. I've never gone to Dr. Barry and said, this hurts, or this hurts, or I can't, I've never been to the doctor because I'm sick. I haven't been to the doctor because I am sick. 10 years probably. I don't think I've been sick and been to the doctor in fucking a decade. I've been to the doctor because I needed stitches, I need a wound closed, I needed a bone set. It was fucking self-induced shit. But most people going to the doctor, they go to the doctor because of shit they fucking do every day at the drive-through window, or sitting on their ass, or lack of movement. Most of it's self-inflicted.
Yeah, we're not meant to be sedentary. We're meant to be fucking moving around.
Back to that, you can heal yourself. Nobody's going to care about you like you do.
Even the hospices, they say that just by making sure that those limbs and stuff move, they get a better response from patients. Yep. We're not supposed to. We're supposed to be fucking we're supposed to be running from danger and trying to catch little furry animals that we can eat.
And sleeping a lot. Like those motherfuckers, when they were done running from danger, they probably slept a lot.
Anyways, I can't run anymore, so you guys are going to have to
catch the furry animals.
Catch the furry animals, bring them back. I'll tell stories by the campfire about what it was like back when civilization.
We'll get them on a wheelchair fucking.
Yep.
Back when civilization.
Jeff will have some really big fucking shoulders.